What's up? As you can probably see from the title, I'm here to review Raw. And I'm going to try to make this a weekly thing. I want to review Impact. SmackDown, I could give a rat's ass about. I got my Team Bring It stuff from like a year, 2 years ago. Anyway, so I got my notes on my phone, and I just want to talk about Raw, review it basically. This is the one where Rock comes back. He returns as he does about 3 times a year ever since WrestleMania 27, somewhere in there. So the show starts out with Cena. I could go on and on about Cena, but he's kind of become like dead air to me, because it's Cena, and he's been there for so long. It's like, but it's basically starts out Raw like any other Raw. He comes out, and everybody boos him, whatnot, and he basically just talks about what's going on tonight, or what's confirmed, like the TLC match between Punk and Ryback. And like he's trying to get everybody fired up and stuff, and of course he's feuding with Ziggler, so Ziggler comes out, and I don't know why. If anybody can like answer it, I know the answer, but why is it that every time Cena goes up against anybody, it's like either that guy and an entourage, or it's like an entire group, like with the Nexus, like he buried the fucking Nexus. But I don't get it. But, I mean, like, Ziggler comes out and he's flanked by AJ and Biggie Langston, which I'm still wondering who exactly, what exactly he's doing there. Like, he's not helping Ziggler at all, because it kind of just makes him look weaker compared to John Cena, which everybody does, but so why? What's the point of making him look weaker when everybody looks weak against Cena? Which, Lawler, he's kind of, I don't know, he's kind of gay for Cena, and he wasn't as much tonight. It was weird, because usually he's throwing out like compliment after compliment and just ragging on whoever he's against. But you didn't see that really with him tonight. What else can I say about this? What else? Oh yeah, Langston says, "You think Dolph is their only problem, but we really haven't seen Langston in action. He comes in and does his one move, and does his one move, and it affects the match or whatever, however it may. This all leads up to a match between Dolph Ziggler and Cena." And again, as I just mentioned, the finish is just kind of stupid. Langston comes in, does his one move, like, I don't know what to call it, and I'm sure it has a name. I'm not good with the wrestling terminology lingo very well. But anyway, he does his one move, and then he does it, and then he rolls him over and puts Ziggler like on him, like on top of like his arm. And the ref previous to this has been knocked out. Oh, and Langston and AJ were told to go backstage because they were fucking with the match. So Langston had to come down the ramp and disturb the match because the ref was out. But here's the question, is that Langston ran down, did his little move, turned him over, put Ziggler's arm over Cena so he could get the 3 count. but the ref was out, so they had to send another ref. Or another ref comes, you know, running down to the ring, and and he saw it on the TV that he had to be out there, but he didn't see Langston, like, clearly interfere with the match. It was weird. He kicks out of it, and not Langston. Cena does his attitude adjustment and for the win. Whatever. I mean, it's to be expected at this point, seeing as that either Cena wins cleanly, or he doesn't, or if he wins, it's by disqualification. I mean, by interference. But yeah, it was a waste of my time. They were talking about, and Ziggler has, like, still has his finisher, his sleeper hold. He has others, but I mean, his big one that he kind of started out with was the sleeper hold. The announcers, I can't remember which one, but he said, Ziggler may be wearing Cena down, and they say this every time. And, like, the sleeper hold for Ziggler is, like, it's just there so it can, like, so the match can turn, and the other guy will, like, reverse the sleeper hold. I've never seen Ziggler's sleeper hold work, much less anyone else trying it, at least this day and age. Cena vows it'll be the best year of his in years. Okay, I mean, never vow something in the WWE. I mean, look at Jericho. He said he was going to win the Royal Rumble and didn't. And how many CM Punk matches did he say that he was going to win? Next match is Caitlyn and fucking Eve for the Divas title. No one takes this stuff seriously. I can't, like, you can see it go either way. I don't like Caitlyn. I don't like Caitlyn. It's just, I think it's her hair, because her hair looks like she's wearing, like, 2 wigs on top of each other. It's weird. And they start this fucking Twitter stuff. I hate this fucking Twitter shit where they're like, oh, and, like, the rock bottom is trending. Who gives a shit? I mean, I don't know. I could go on and on. I'm not. Let's see. I noticed that during this match, Cole was pretty much became a face commentator whenever Lawler had his unfortunate accident with the heart attack. But it's weird because he kind of goes heel sometimes. He's not, like, really fucking heel like he used to be. Like, you know, whenever he, like, the Lawler versus Cole thing. But it's really weird because, like, Lawler really rides his ass, and he's not, like, a really bad dude anymore. Like, you know, when he was supporting The Miz, and, like, he was total, like, fucking heel. He's not like that anymore, and so, like, him just riding his ass is weird. I don't know. Oh, I forgot this. The official stops the Caitlyn and Eve match because Caitlyn's boot has to be retied. Like, she has to tie her boot. And that, I mean, I guess, whatever. It seemed planned, but it probably was. But it's just a weird, and so it's like, he tells you to go in her corner, and she very blatantly disobeys what he says. She very blatantly disobeys what he says, and just kicks Caitlyn right in the head. No disqualification, nothing. And the match continues. And he's like, I told you, Eve, I told you to stand in your corner. Dude, just disqualify her. Because the match ended in a count out anyway, so I also noted that they're talking about the power of Caitlyn. Like, they're trying to make her a powerhouse diva, much less, like, or much like Beth Phoenix or Natalia like 2 years ago, or Tamina. But then they started calling her the Hybrid Diva, which I'm not quite certain what that is. But they set up Santino versus Barrett with Ricky Steamboat in Santino's corner, because Steamboat says that he wants to have it. I don't know why it was made. Next they set up Orton versus Slater from 3MB. I noted that this really does make Orton look bad, because I mean he's kind of, I haven't seen him in a while. I haven't watched the last two, like the ones that were recorded, because who gives a shit. But I haven't seen Orton in a while, and him taking on Heath Slater, I didn't expect much from this match. There's more to this match than I was expecting, but not much. Then it was Kane and Daniel Bryan, the tag team champions, in a non-title match versus Rhodes Scholars. These are four really good wrestlers. You have Kane, who's a veteran. I know a lot of people don't like Kane. I like Kane. Daniel Bryan, enough said. Cody Rhodes, enough said. Damien Sandow, enough said. It was a good match. It was a standard match. Not over the top, but it was good. It continued the story of the tag team champions. I have nothing really to work. I mean, nothing really there. Orton versus Slater after this. Orton just basically destroys the three-man band. Like, there's one spot where he landed on the ground. I don't remember how. But yeah, that was about it. And they were like triple teaming him, like they were hitting him. And that was about it. And then it ended with an RKO, and then it was RKOs all around, and Randy for the win. Standard Randy match, standard Heath match. Then it was Santino versus Barrett. Cole mentioned Barrett has a veteran instinct. From where? Because he's been there for 3 years. He's relatively young. Where's his veteran instinct? Of course, he says in the Team Rhodes Scholars match that Cody Rhodes is a veteran at a young age. So I guess he's going with something like that. But again, Barrett's been there for a very short time. Cody Rhodes has been there for a good 5-6 years. Easy. And this is where I began to realize that this whole show is devoted to just The Rock coming back, because they set up, like, Sheamus is giving a promo or some shit, I don't know, backstage, and 3MB comes back, and they're like hurting, they're like grabbing their necks because like fucking Randy Orton RKO'd them, all of them. And so they go back and forth, and they don't tell you who. I'll just tell you now, it's Mahal. And they have a match. It's Sheamus versus Mahal, which it's what you expect, because Sheamus just squashes everybody, and especially a jobber like Mahal. And again, I won't cover it. I'll just cover it now. Brogue kicks all around, really. Again, it spills outside the ring for some reason. I don't remember. It's not a very memorable match. But yeah, Brogue kicks all around, gets Mahal for the win. I lost my place. Let's see. Brogue kicks all around. What the hell? Okay. So after that, the setup, I just won't cover the match. Cesaro versus Khali. I didn't pay any attention to this fucking match. 2 reasons. Why? Because there's no way in hell Cesaro's not going to win. He pulled off some really impressive moves, the ones that I actually looked up at. It's not that I'm not a Cesaro fan. I am a Cesaro fan. I'm just, you know who's going to win, so what's the point? But they had Miz on commentary. I used to like The Miz. I can't stand him now. I cannot stand the fucking Miz. He gets this weird look. He's like he's trying to be smarmy and cool. It's you know, that, a smarmy, pouty kind of thing. Anytime he's talking to anybody, on a show, and I can't stand his fucking show. But, it's fucking unreal, what they think they're gonna, they're trying to put over this guy as a face. And, the one good part of this match was the end, where he does, he grabs him, around, his Cesaro's finisher, and he does it to the Khali, which is really impressive. A lot of strength in that guy. Miz basically all but claims that he can out-wrestle Cesaro, and I laughed my ass off, because I would really like to see that. You know, I think that's where they're going. And I would really... And Miz very well will get the championship from him, because that's what all faces do, is just take championships and hold them forever. But, yeah, I just thought that was funny. Miz does his face to Cesaro, but I cannot fucking stand The Miz. I cannot, it's just, it's Borsville is what it is, because, he makes these really obvious jokes, I'm trying to think of one, he's trying to be edgy and cool, but, he called Cody Rhodes and Damian Sandow, the Pink and the Stink or something, ooh, edgy, yeah, I'm whatever. After that, backstage, we cut to, it's, Paul Heyman and Brad Maddox. Again, I don't see any reason why Brad Maddox is there, because his character's already on there. His name is The Miz. But I actually wrote down a quote that it pretty much explains my feelings that I feel about Brad Maddox, and Heyman says it to Brad Maddox. He says he wants him to crawl back underneath that rock from where he says he wants him to crawl back underneath that rock from where he came and leave him alone. And he also says, I don't know why you exist. He's thinking what we're all thinking. Why does Brad Maddox exist? I feel like there's a payout somewhere, but it's gonna be stupid as shit because it's WWE. WWE, carries on these things. I remember, 2 years ago, a year, when was that? I don't remember, but it was Nash versus Triple H. And it was when was that? It was a year ago. Texted Triple H, and it was the last time we ever saw Nash. I think it was WWE programming. CM Punk versus somebody, and I think he just he drilled fucking Punk over the head with something, and he thought it was this whole big thing, and who texted him, Nash said he didn't, and all this stuff, and I think it was something like that. It had something to do with Triple H and texting and some shit. But the whole payout to that whole entire angle that they spent months on was Triple H comes on and he says, I'm not going to do his voice. I'm terrible at voices. But he says, I know who did it. We have surveillance of my office, and you sent the text from my phone to my phone, Nash, and we have you on camera. And they didn't even bother to send, like, show the, like the security footage. We're just supposed to just take it as is. Like, okay. But, yeah, that was a big long thing about how WWE doesn't really pay out all that well. With their big angles and stuff. Let's see. Sheamus versus Mahal, we already been through that. Ryback versus Punk. This was a good match. I can see why people like Ryback, and I can see why people don't. Ryback's a really good performer for his size. He's like Sheamus, where he's not encumbered by his size. You know what I mean? He's a big dude that he works really well. So, yeah, that's what I have to say to Ryback. I'm a Ryback fan. Not as much as Punk, but I like Ryback. There's a lot of good spots. Punk gets slammed right on the ladder. Twice, actually. Once, he gets, like, slammed, like, on it, like it's, like, laying flat. And that, I mean, that's gotta hurt. Like, there's no way you can, like, make that, like, not hurt and look like it hurts. You know, there are some tables that get fucked up. And then there's this one where it was like a setup ladder, like it's sitting like this, and like Ryback throws him onto it. And like, he throws him onto it, and it like twists the ladder when he hits, like when he collides with it. Again, it looks like it hurts like a bitch, but he somehow it gets, I think Punk gets control and like knocks him out, and then like he like tries to set it up, but it's like twisted, and you could see like him trying to think like, can I actually make it up this ladder? And he didn't try, because I think Ryback, like, he was trying, and like Ryback hit him with something or something, but it's probably best that he didn't. I've seen like who was it? It was a Money in the Bank a few years ago, where maybe it was this year, or I mean last year, but it was Alberto Del Rio and Rey Mysterio, and they had like ladders like right next to each other, and they're like hitting each other. And again, I'm going off on a story that has nothing to do with anything. And like they're fighting for the briefcase, and like he like pushes over like Rey Mysterio's ladder, and when he does that, the ladder that he's on, that Del Rio's on, kind of gives, and like he kind of like he was meant to like grab the fucking belt, but he just falls, and like he cuts like his side, and he has to like get up and like get another ladder and shimmy on up and get it, and like they're all like really selling them like the hurting and or really selling the injuries and stuff. But yeah, that was I'm sure it was terrifying for him, but it was real funny for us. Ryback at one point, he takes off like the hood thing that says like Raw on the announce table, and he starts smacking CM Punk with it. That didn't, I mean, those things can't weigh, at most weigh 10 pounds. I mean, it didn't look that painful, and it probably wasn't. It didn't sell well because it looked like a flimsy piece of plastic, because that's what it is. It looks like Punk is about to, Punk goes through like a table, like he reverses like one of Punk's moves, and Ryback throws him through a table on the outside, and it looks like he's gonna win. And of course the Shield intervenes, but they don't intervene like they usually do, like coming through the crowd. The lights go out, and I thought Undertaker, because I mean there's several guys like Undertaker or Kane, but I was like, why would they even care? But it wasn't. It was the Shield. Okay, I had to take a break. So, there's like 2 members. It's Dean Ambrose and what do they call Tyler Black? Seth Rollins. And they're like on the opposite side of Ryback, and they like trying to knock him off. It's no avail, and Ryback just like clocks both of them. And then what's the other guy's name? Fuck, the big dude. I can't even remember his name. Roman Reigns. He like comes from like behind, and like he's like kicking at him, and eventually they all kind of like get on top of him and are like beating on him, and they throw him out, and they just level like they do that like they do like a 3-man power bomb or power slam or whatever the hell it's called, and they do it on top of a ladder which is beneath or on top of a steel steps, and that was really cool. It looked like it hurt. I can't imagine how the table would make it hurt more, but so after that they leave, and Punk gets the belt and he's still a champion. So he's going to the Royal Rumble against The Rock, and this all leads up to, I mean, we still have like 40 minutes left. And Punk says he'll be out because he's going to drop a pipe bomb before The Rock can. And there's one more match. There was there was Kofi Kingston versus The Big Show. And I already saw this coming. I don't know why they did it to Kofi Kingston. I am not a Kofi fan. He's like a one-trick pony. He jumps really high. Nothing against the guy. You know, I don't like him, but I can see why somebody would. But Big Show just squashed him just immediately. Like, it was faster than the Heath Slater-Orton match, which surprised me. But he just kind of knockout punched him right there from the get-go, and that was the match. I think that was just for time reasons. Or just to get an appearance by the Big Show. So, winding down this this whole Raw, we have Punk come back out. I don't think that there was anything else before that. Yeah, that was it. At least from what whatever. Punk cuts out a really good promo about how there was a glass ceiling and he broke it, and I'm gonna lose my train of thought. He cuts a real good promo about the glass ceiling and like how there's like different. He almost like breaks like I don't want to call it the fourth wall because that's not what he's doing, but he's almost doing that, like saying, yeah, this shit is fake, but because it is. I mean, they already know who the winners are, yada yada yada. I could go on, but it is real. They're really getting hurt. I understand it, but he's breaking the fourth wall, saying that like or not. He's kinda, because like he's like, oh, Brodus Clay is this massive human being that can crush people, but he's dancing around with your stupid kids and things like that. It was really it's really ballsy for WWE to let him say stuff like that too. And he's talking about Daniel Bryan. You turn him into like a mumbling crazy guy, and all different things like that. And he mentions Tyson Kidd. He's like, why is Tyson Kidd get more airtime than or get less airtime than Little Jimmy, who isn't even real? Just a solid, like, but you expect that from Punk. And he's interrupted by The Rock. And I thought that this was going to be really good. This was going to be really good TV. I really thought, like, it's The Rock versus, like, Punk. Punk is the good talker from this generation, and The Rock is one of the best from the Attitude Era. And I quickly had forgotten that he's not as solid of a talker as he used to be. You know, he hasn't been in the business for years, but, you know, so I'm not giving him any flack for that. But, I mean, he comes out and he cuts a standard Rock promo. You know, doing the millions and millions and, you know, all that stuff. And The Rock says, and it doesn't matter. And, of course, Punk just buries him. Like, talks about that's all he is like 40 catchphrases. And it was actually really funny, and I really enjoyed it. That's good TV. They need to put that stuff more on. Not squash matches with Orton and versus Slater. Even though I don't like the three-man band. I don't know why they exist. I don't know why they disappear for like weeks on end sometimes and then reappear and they're like dancing in clubs, air guitar, and I don't get it. But I don't know. I'm a big Drew McIntyre fan, and Mahal's alright, and Heath Slater's okay. But I guess it's the Drew McIntyre fan in me, because I see a lot of potential in Drew McIntyre. I guess they don't. Anyway, I'm getting off track. So, Punk just, like, rails on him about his catchphrases, and then, it's really weird because, I was watching it with some people, and somebody mentioned that, right after he says, you know, catchphrases, you're stupid, you're nothing but that, he then proceeds to, rebuttal with a catchphrase. He's like, you're gonna go one-on-one with the great one. And I was like, yeah, that was kind of weird. But then he starts, like, they start, you know, shooting back and forth, and one of Rock's one of the things that Rock said was a little off. Like, it was weird. It was semi-sexual. It was weird. He said, at least it came off that way. I'm sure in his head it sounded really funny, but it was really weird working up to this, what he said. He starts making fun of Punk's tattoos. I'm like, dude, you have at least two. You have the Brahma Bull, which, if I'm not mistaken, I don't want to be wrong, so don't worry. Anyway, he has the Brahma Bull, and then he has that giant one that he got for his Samoan heritage, which I'm not knocking him because he has tattoos, but I'm knocking him because he, you know, is bashing another guy for having tattoos when he very clearly has tattoos himself. But anyway, so working up to what he said, I want you to look in the mirror, Punk. And I was like, okay. He's like, I want you to get, I think he actually said, I want you to get a full mirror, and I want you to get naked. He really said this, I want you to get naked in front of the mirror, Punk. And I was like, okay. He's like, I don't want you to focus on your, what did he call his, he tried to get the crowd to call him something. Like Frosty Puss or something. Like, it was something like that because of the ice cream thing. But he's like, I don't want you to look at your Frosty Puss. I want you to turn to your backside, and if you don't have tattoos, I'm kind of getting into Hogan with my well, the way I speak. Like, brother, I don't want you to look at your Frosty Bush. But he goes, I want you, if you don't have any tattoos on your backside, I want you to put an M&M right on one of your butt cheeks. I was like, okay. And he's like, and a Babe Ruth and a Snickers, and then on the other one, want you to put my size 15 boot imprint right on your ass, so you can think about me kicking your candy ass. And of course, the crowd cheers. A lot less than you think, but they cheer, and I was kind of confused. on that remark, and I think that remark pretty much summed up Raw. But, yeah. That was a really weird comment, Rock. I don't know what you were thinking. But it was pretty funny. But it was a weird funny. But, yeah, I'd like to do this more often. Especially Impact. Because Raw's kind of like going towards... Or they're on their road to WrestleMania. So it's just going to get better and better and better. Or at least it should. And TNA was getting better, but they're getting worse. Especially with this Hogan, Brooke, and Bully Ray crap. I mean, I could go on for hours about this on this Raw one, but I'm not. But yeah, I'll watch Impact, and I will let you know my thoughts on Impact on Friday night. Yeah, alright, cool. See you later.